Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Total War Pharaoh Dynasties Edition. I've streamed Total War Pharaoh on the channel before, back around when it first came out, and my overall impression of it was that it was alright, but maybe a bit overpriced for what you were actually getting. In the meantime, since then, a lot has happened. The game was reduced in price, and everyone who'd already bought it got given a partial refund, which was frankly unprecedented. And since then, they released a whole bunch of new free updates, including the big Dynasties update, which is going to be the final big content update, which has expanded the map massively, added multiple new factions, multiple new features, and has basically kind of transformed the game into what I think a lot of people justifiably would argue is what this game should have been when it first released. I saw one Steam review sarcastically saying that Total War Pharaoh has finally come out of early access, and I kind of get where they were coming from. So, I played it a little bit over the last few evenings, trying to get myself refamiliarized with it and actually, you know, get used to some of the new features. And today, this weekend, we're going to stream it because I honestly think the game has become quite solid now, and it deserves a little bit of time in the spotlight for everything CAH Sofia has done to rehabilitate it, essentially. It's arguably comparable to, and it's not quite the same level of drastic turnaround, but it's a bit like when Rome 2 came out, and Rome 2 was utterly shockingly terrible on release, and then after a lot of work afterwards, they managed to make it good. Pharaoh has undergone a similar transformation, although not quite as extreme. So, first thing, right off the bat, we have got these guys. These are all the Egyptian main faction people. They were in the original game. We got the Hittites as well, Shupuluma, and Karunta. So far, so good. Canaan, we've got Ursu the Ravager and Bay, whatever his bloody name is. But then we've got the Sea Peoples. These guys were added in a free update. And then we've got Mesopotamia. We've got Ninurta, the Conqueror. I believe this guy is Assyrian. And then we've got this chap here, Adad Shuma Usur, who is Babylon. And then we hop over to the Aegean, and we've got Agamemnon, who's leading Mycenaean Greece, and we've got Priam leading the city of Troy. These guys are very much sort of like a lot of their rosters and whatnot have been taken over and imported from Troy with a few tweaks here and there. Although as someone who never really played very much of Troy, this is all very much new to me. I have, over the last few nights, been playing a Mycenaean Greek campaign and having a grand old time with it. But today, we're going to be playing as Assyria, I think. I really fancy playing as these guys. Now, what's worth noting is these are just the major factions. One of the things that changed in the update was you now have minor factions. Which means that all the other small factions across the map, you can choose to play as them instead if you want. All these guys. Which is pretty neat. They're a bit lighter on features compared to the major factions, but they're very much playable. They have their own unit rosters, and often I think they represent a bit more of a challenge because of starting location and things like that. So that's pretty decent. I like that minor factions are back on the table again. You can't even do this in Total War Warhammer these days without installing a mod, you know, being able to play as minor factions. So that's really nice. I like that a lot. What's this faction over here on Cyprus? Didn't notice them before. Alashia, minor faction. Minor factions lack some of the specificity and unique mechanics of major factions, but provide a large diversity of starting positions and opportunities for play. Yeah. Alashia serves as a vassal state of the Hittite Empire, governed by the kings of Ugarit. The island's abundant copper deposits attract foreign merchants to its shores, keen to erect coastal towns that facilitate maritime trade with the Levant, and so on and so forth. Interesting stuff. Essentially, nowadays, what you've got here in Total War Pharaoh is like a proper, full-on Bronze Age Total War, and it's pretty neat. We, however, are going to be playing as Assyria, which is located over here somewhere, I believe. So we go Mesopotamia. Major factions. Ninurta. Driven by unfettered ambition and perhaps overconfidence, Ninurta plots to take the Assyrian throne, but his plans don't stop there. He seeks complete domination over any and all. He wants to crush neighboring Babylon and put it under heel for good, then march against Hatti and Canaan to the west, forging Assyria into the largest empire the world has ever seen. Ninurta believes himself infallible, a leader destined to lead his people into a new golden age. The truth is, he underestimates the challenges that such a grand dream entails. Now, minor spoilers, the Assyrian Empire very much did become a thing, but it was a number of centuries after this game's start date. I don't know a ton about ancient Assyria, I must admit. What I can tell you is that I very frequently visit the British Museum in London, and they have an amazing collection of ancient Assyrian tablets and statues and all sorts of stuff like that. I've seen all of the fantastic like engravings and carvings of King Ashurbanipal in the 9th century BC, I believe, is when he went conquering around the Middle East. And it's always been a nugget of history I've wanted to learn a bit more about. And
Assyria's legacy shall last forever.
As has often been the case, I've often got into certain periods of history as a result of playing Total War games that were set in them. So I think I'd really quite like to play as the Assyrians under Ninurta. So up here you can see our local deities. The religion system in this game is kind of interesting with the different deities available and whatnot. We've got Ashur, Ishtar, and Ninurta. I believe these guys named themselves after their gods, right? Or something like that, if I recall. Here's the native units to the region, and then there's the faction units. There's a kind of an almost area of recruitment system in this game, similar to what you get in some like other mods for the older Total War games, like in Divide et Impera for Rome 2, for example. There's the faction units. Chariots, levies, sappers, spearmen, Nineveh defenders. We've got some horse archers. Now, one thing about this is that we do have some ahistorical cavalry units, which would not have been around in this period of history, but the devs, I think, have added it for gameplay reasons. I'm not a huge fan of it, but whatever. Compared to like old school Rome Total War and old school Medieval 2, we're still not nearly as egregious in terms of the diversions from historical accuracy, so I can live with it. Campaign difficulty and battle difficulty, I'll leave on normal. What's the difficulty rating for Ninurta? I didn't even bother to check, I must admit.
The people have chosen me.
That's the king of Babylon down there. We're up here.
Let the gods witness our greatness.
I don't know how hard this campaign is going to be. Could be interesting. I know that playing as Shupuluma is probably the hardest major faction you can play in the game. I played him on release and got my ass thoroughly and utterly kicked. Very entertaining campaign that was. Faction summary. So here's our strengths and weaknesses. Cheaper recruitment of units and generals. New generals getting a mount ancillary right from the start. That's pretty cool. Something my generals all get chariots by default or something. That's pretty neat. Versatile melee units, access to cav, limited ranged units. That's maybe a problem because ranged units are really powerful nowadays in Total War Pharaoh because of the lethality system, which we'll get into later. We get access to the assassination plot at all times, which sounds like an absolute riot. Starting position king of... Oh, do we start off as king of the royal court of Mesopotamia? That's kind of fun. There's other advice here specifically for our faction as well. We start with 2 outposts, a shrine of Ninurta and a fort. Mesopotamia, the usually dry air often turns sweltering, especially in regions farther from the rivers. Mesopotamian warriors are well suited for that, wearing mostly light or medium armor. Some units are trained to fight in rain and thunderstorms, as those are likely to occur on the Fertile Crescent. Yeah, this game has a wonderful dynamic weather system for the battles, which I really enjoy. Weather and terrain have never felt more important in a historical Total War game as they do in this game, and it's one of my favorite things about it. Titles. Okay, Royal Traditions. Ancient Legacy. You can choose the Ancient Legacy of Sargon the Great. You will have more control over your ambitions. You'll be able to take on more than one at a time. Ambitions are sort of like, you know, like in Medieval 2, you got the Council of Noble quests. So you got your missions you got sent every now and again. Ambitions in this game are kind of like that, actually. They're kind of like the council missions in Medieval 2. Right. So that's what we're going to be doing. There's campaign customization screen, of course. There's shed loads of stuff that's customizable in the campaigns in this game. It's one of the other things I like about it. A lot of the stuff that previously, back in the day, you'd have to install mods to change, you can now just do in a menu. For example, there's one in particular, I think turns per year. You can just change the turns per year with the drop-down menu in this game. You don't have to install a friggin' submod or something to do it. You can choose 1 turn per year, 3 turns per year, 6 turns per year, or 12 turns per year, if you like. I'm going to go with the default 3, I think. But that's friggin' sweet. I love that. Some battle changes you can make here as well. Lethality chance. You can turn off the lethality system or leave it on default, or make everything have a 100% lethality to make it even more bananas if you want to. Loads and loads of tweaks to your campaign experience you can make in this menu. There's a lot of options. I'm going to leave it all alone, though, pretty much. So, I think that's it. I think we're all good. We're gonna get started. This is the generic intro, which we've seen before, every time you play the game. I can see the lethality system explained. In a nutshell, basically, the lethality system is the percentage chance of you getting an instant kill if you get a hit on an enemy unit. Ranged units and elite melee units typically have higher lethality than everything else. And charging units that go into the rear of enemy units will have higher lethality as well. Basically, what essentially lethality has done for the game is it's made missile units quite powerful, and charging sort of like axe and big axe units quite powerful as well. Anything that's got a good charge bonus and whatnot. It is, for those of you who've been watching us play Insularis Draco, funnily enough, the battles in Total War Pharaoh now are balanced pretty similarly to that mod, actually, in the sense that melee units, when they get stuck into each other, they can get into a meat grinder that lasts for a really, really, really long time, whereas missile units have, depending on which type of missile unit you're dealing with, particularly with javelins, can be very, very lethal. You can take out a lot of enemy units with javelins, but obviously the problem is the javelins are quite short range, and you have a very limited ammo supply of them. Lethality for generals is currently bugged. They are not supposed to be able to be killed by lethality until a percentage of the bodyguard is dead. Oh, is that true? Is that so? Really? See, that's interesting because I didn't think that was a bug. I thought that was a genuine feature. Because that's the other big thing to mention about this now. All your generals are mortal, including the special main characters like Ninurta here. They're all mortal. They can all be killed now, unless you change the option in the customization settings to make them immortal. They're all mortal and can die. The reason that the big reason the update is called the Dynasties update is because you have the Dynasties system, which means that the old family tree system from Medieval 2 in Rome is back, baby. You have a family tree, which means you have heirs and other characters, and when your faction leader dies, your heir will inherit the throne. And as it turns out, since the lethality system was introduced, your faction characters can die really easily. Particularly to enemy arrows and missile units. As I said, I was doing a Mycenaean Greek campaign, and in the very first battle of the campaign, I actually managed to get Menelaus killed. So, Menelaus of Sparta, fucking dead. First battle of the campaign. So, that was fun. Right.
The Tigris River is a gift from the gods. Its waters nourish a civilization as old as ours. It gave life to many cities, with Ashur among the greatest. The Assyrians are formidable. United, their military prowess matches our own. But like any empire, they face trials both internal and external. This kingdom is rife with opportunists. One such leader, Ninurta Apol Ekur, considers himself superior to others and is seeking Assyria's throne. He must manage his Hittite neighbors, lest they bring his downfall. Yet he is belligerent, and prefers war over diplomacy. Trouble comes from within, too, taking advantage of Ninurta's vulnerability. Other Assyrian factions seek to claim territory and prestige at his expense. Expansion has even reached Babylon, a long-coveted prize for this warlike empire. However, they couldn't hold the city, famous for its defiance. The Assyrian Empire is under pressure from all directions. Stretched thin to maintain its dominance and beset by a leadership crisis. This is the perfect time for Ninurta to grab the throne and lead Assyria to glory, or destroy it utterly, should he fail.
All right, there we go. There's the faction summary screen. Here we go. Welcome to ancient Assyria, everybody. We're over here. Ooh, the map is slightly skew-if. No wonder I was having trouble orientating myself. There we go. Now we're north facing up. So yeah, you've got Greece over there. Way over in the west, all of Anatolia. Mesopotamia, which we're slap bang in the middle of, and then obviously you've got all of this as well, including, I think they may have even expanded the map a bit further south, down in this direction, because I'm pretty sure as one of the minor factions you can play as now is Kush, way to the south of Egypt. But anyway, we're over here. We start off with, what do we got, like 3 towns? 3 settlements? Do we have, no, we don't quite have the whole province. We're at war with Suhu at the moment. These guys over here, that's our initial battle we've got set up for ourselves, it looks like. What do we got to play with?
Glory to Assyria and its people, for I am their savior.
We've got Ninurta, we've got Assur levies, Assur militia, Assur heavy archers, and some Assur horsemen. Okay, very good. What kind of recruitment options do we have here? Native units and faction units. Nothing particularly amazing, unfortunately. Reminders, what do we got then? Royal Decree available, aka the tech tree in this game. Looks like we start off with Urban Military Initiative for free. That's interesting. Didn't get that when I was playing as the Greeks. I love, by the way, that the UI does change depending on which faction you're playing as. So, because we're a Mesopotamian faction, we've got this Mesopotamian-themed background here on the tech screen and whatnot, and all of the UI stuff has been themed around the faction we're playing,
of Assyria,
which is really nice. I noticed that was a thing when you were playing as the Greeks, but I wondered if it was going to be the case for the Mesopotamians as well, and it totally is, so that's nice.
Looking up, I see bright stars.
Yes, there are bright stars. Very pretty ones. The campaign map's absolutely beautiful in this game, it really is. I love the day-night cycle it has going on. It's really neat. You can turn that off if you really want to, but I like it. Right, the local deities, court, path to power, ancient legacy stuff, that's all turned off. That slowly gets introduced as you can progress through the campaign, through the first like 20 or so turns. You can, in the customization options, actually enable these all from turn 1 if you want to, if you can't be bothered to just gradually unlock them, which is totally viable. In fact, if I'd remembered that was a thing, I might have considered doing it, but never mind. So at the moment, we've got diplomacy, royal decrees, which we've just... Yeah, what do we want? Let's see. Longer festivals, divine servant, happiness in the province with faction leader. Oh, okay. Life of the soldier. These texts seem to change depending on faction as well, because the tech tree definitely looks a bit different to when I was playing as the Greeks. Urban military initiative, farming the forests, wood income during collapse, crisis, and prosperity increases. Okay, good to know. The whole collapse system is a thing in this game, because it is ultimately about the Bronze Age collapse. I'm going to go with, yeah, I'm just going to stick with longer festivals. A bit of bonus happiness in our provinces. Happiness at the moment is -9 here from taxes and idle workforce. Okay. Basically, we've got lots of unemployed people, it looks like. We can fix that, though, by starting to build stuff. Looks like we've got a fort, which currently has... So every time you build a fort, it's got like... it starts off with a little general unit, and you can garrison units in the fort to reduce their upkeep to like 50%, I think. And obviously forts are actually, you can attack these and fight fort battles on the battle map with them as well. And also, if you've got units deployed in a fort like there, and someone were to come along and attack Shadikani, the units from the fort would reinforce Shadikani in the siege battle, which is neat as well. The whole outpost system in this game I really like. It reminds me of when you could build the little additional buildings on the map in like Empire Total War and in Shogun 2 as well. It's kind of like that, but honestly better, because you can actually interact with them on the battle map, in the case of the forts. So we've got over in Washukani over here, we've got a Shrine of Ninurta as well, which gets us favor with Ninurta. I can't open the deity menu right now, but there's a religion system in this game that's kind of interesting, where you can gain favor with certain gods for certain bonuses. It's not like magical fantasy bullshit. You can't call down lightning bolts out of the sky if you worship Zeus or anything. It's more just sort of like a kind of placebo effect. You know, you offer big sacrifices to the gods and stuff, and your troops actually believe it's real, so therefore they fight better. You know, it's that kind of a deal they got going on.
In such times, I must hold my temper.
We've got 4 pending actions. Settlement upgrade available for Dukatlimu. Do I want to upgrade right now? It will increase your admin burden upgrading cities. Admin burden is tracked up here. Basically, the bigger your empire becomes, the bigger settlements you have, the more armies you have, the more a bit of a penalty you have to pay for that. It's basically just to try and help stop the player from snowballing too much. It's a bit like, it kind of reminds me of Empire maintenance in DEI for Rome 2. But it's a little bit more in depth than that. Outposts, yeah, we can build outposts. Construction available, general not moved. There's no way to like recruit sort of mercenaries instantly in this game, I don't think, by default. So I can't quickly grab any more units. We're just going to have to go mano a mano with Nicanor here. Let's go diplomacy, actually. Let's see what our relations are like with the rest of the region. Ownership, diplomatic status, attitude. It's more helpful. Looks like we're at war with Suhu. We're Hanigal. Oh boy, why did I have to play as Assyria? I can't pronounce any of the names of things. We're Hanigalbat. Hanigalbat, that's us. And Suhu is the guys we're at war with. King of the Universe. Apparently this dude. That's his court position at the minute. I think this guy is currently the King of Assyria. And we're trying to knock him off the throne. It looks like. I believe King of the Universe is the title for the guy who's currently, you know, King of Assyria. So, he's got barter agreements. Wait, he has barter agreements with me even though I'm at war with him? That's fascinating. What's the deal with that? He also has a barter agreement with Babylon. And he's not got a non-aggression pact with Temen, who we've not discovered yet. He's also at war with Kare.
10,000 correct actions.
This guy down here, basically. He's neutral with us, but opinion is improving a bit. Now, normally, if I was playing one of the older games, I'd probably go through here desperately trying to get trade rights with everybody I could. However, trade rights don't really work in this game like they do in the old games, because in this game, you have multiple resources. You don't just have money. You have food, you have stone, you have wood, you have bronze, and you have actual gold. And probably food is the most valuable of the lot, because it's the one that you'd pay most of your unit upkeep in food. Aside from your more elite units, which sometimes use bronze as upkeep or gold as upkeep. So I think for now we should probably build some stuff. Let's have a look. What have we got to work with here? Dukatlimu is probably our capital right now, isn't it? Yeah, down here. Lovely little city model, actually. We have one military recruitment building down here, mustering hall.
Assyria, most of all.
We could probably do with this one, a militia barracks. Let's get started on that. What else? Military support, war stockpiles, officer school. We could build ancient Assyrian Sandhurst out here in Mesopotamia. A midwife's house, new scryer stand, travelers inn. What else we got? Production. What's this? What do we get in this province at the moment? Wood for this place, stone for Shadikani, food for these ones. We've already built logging grounds. Religion, dwelling of Ninurta, and a temple of Ninurta the first. Oh, it's just tier 1 temple of Ninurta, sorry. Gives us happiness +1. Anything else that would give us a bit of happiness? The building tree is definitely different from the Greek one. I was wondering if it was going to be like carbon copied with different names, but it's not.
Look at me. I have royal blood.
This one gives workforce growth, which early on is probably quite good. Idle workforce is actually, like, in addition to like using stone or wood to construct buildings, you also need idle workforce to do it. And idle workforce growth basically is going to dictate how fast we can build new stuff and expand our cities. So we have a positive income of just about every resource at the moment, which is good. Influence is only at 90%, which isn't fantastic. Could be better. We need it higher than that, really. I'm thinking let's build a temple of Ninurta as well, because that gives happiness. We could build grain pots, so it gives a bit of a food income bonus. Or maybe I should for now leave that additional slot open and build something else somewhere else. Let's consider a dwelling of Ninurta, maybe? Sure, let's do that. Outpost construction, right. Do we want to build a new outpost? Where have we got locations for outposts right now? Because if I wanted to build a fort, for example, I'd probably have to think carefully about where I want to do that. And also way stations are another type of outpost you can build.
How innocent everything looks.
Way stations are a cool type of outpost you can build that basically allows you to armies to kind of fast travel in a way if you string them together across your empire correctly. Because way stations, when an army moves up to it and activates it, it basically refunds 50% of their movement points, which allows them to go even further that turn. So if you set up your way stations in a sensible way across your empire, you can use it as essentially a fast transit system to move armies across the map much quicker than normal, which is really neat. Kind of makes me wish like Rome 2 had a system like that, because there would be nothing more Roman than building a really efficient network of roads all over your empire. But admin stuff, and we could build a monument. This strikes me as a good place to put a way station, honestly, but looks like I can't build it. We have insufficient. Well, we don't have enough wood to build a way station. That's annoying. All right, what if we go somewhere else then? See, that up there could be a good place for a fort. Up on the border here. That's a good place for a way station, as is that. Over here maybe is more fort territory. Same with that, really. That's a shrine, isn't it?
Looking up, I see bright stars.
I think I'm going to make this one. Think. Economic outpost there, I think. And that'll do for now. And I think now we'll get stuck in and actually do a proper, honest-to-goodness battle. You like the strategic thing you can do with it? With the, I do like the resource system. I do. I like the way that you can support a larger than normal army by carefully and sensibly trading with other factions to get the resources you need to support that army, which is quite fun. And if you can exploit the fact that you have a surplus of certain things to get stuff from other people. Like you've got a faction that is a real shortage of timber. You can give them timber in exchange for all sorts of diplomatic favors. Because, like, depending on whether a faction has a surplus or a scarcity of a particular resource will determine how valuable it is to them in a diplomatic exchange. So,
nothing passes me by.
From that perspective, I really do like it, I must admit. Forts are really useful, especially during peacetime. Yeah, because of the upkeep reduction. That's mostly what I do with forts when I'm in peacetime in this game, is I stuff all my armies that I can. All my expensive units go straight in the forts to reduce the upkeep by half. So...
The stars.
Right.
What?
Let's have at you, sir.
Traitors. Death to you.
I don't know how easy this is going to be. What's he got? Akkadian militia, Akkadian hunters, Akkadian farmers. Well, they're probably not going to be great, are they? Oh, having said that, though, they are two-hand axe infantry with excellent battle speed, so they're potentially decent, you know, if used correctly. They do have some javelin guys who I live in fear of, because javelins are really powerful in Pharaoh these days. We've got levy archers, we've got some horsemen, which hopefully we can use to great effect. And then we've got a club militia and our Kopesh and shield infantry. I forget what Kopeshes are good for in this game. I know how, like, you got swords, spears, and axes, like in all the other historical Total War games with their various advantages, but Kopeshes are weird and different, and I don't know what the inherent bonuses of them really is. It says bonus versus shields here. Maybe that's what they do. I don't know. Right. Neither of us has any slingers. I could do with some slingers. I like slingers in this game because they have such good range. Alright. Let's do this. Yes, I will. I agree with you on that point. I really do wish that trade agreements could automatically renew, because manually renewing them every like 5 or 10 turns is a pain in the dick. That is actually genuinely quite annoying. I would really like it if they could auto-renew, but never mind. All right, weather conditions are... Whoa! Okay, don't mind the battle camera mod spazzing out a little bit there. Okay, current weather is dry. The forecast is for fog, which will lower visibility a bit. That's fine. We can deal with that. We could choose to wait, but I'm cool with that, so let's deploy. All right. Welcome to Mesopotamia, everybody. The battle maps in this game are really quite gorgeous, especially once you zoom in and get close up with it all. Great for the immersion factor, for sure. Is this a river crossing battle? I think it might be. It's going to make life interesting. Got lots of terrain types in this game. We've got long grass here, for example. Tall grass provides cover for light infantry units. We've got trees. Forest and scrubs reduce the speed and combat efficiency of large units and allow some troops to hide, as well as provide a 40% chance for missiles to be blocked. Forests are really, really useful in a game where missile units are very lethal. Trust me. If you've got an enemy, you're facing an enemy army that's got a lot of missile units, use the forest to your advantage if you can. We've also got mud over here. Mud is a terrain type in this game, as it probably should have been for a long time in Total War. It's amazing it took them until now to add mud to the game. Mud slows down heavier units and reduces their combat effectiveness. You can have, and I have multiple times in playing this game, your own Battle of Agincourt moment where you can try and get the enemy unit to charge at you across a muddy field and reduce their combat effectiveness. While you pelt them with arrows and all sorts of things as they try to shamble across it. In fact, that might be what we try and do today. Try and get the enemy to come at us across the mud. Although, actually, it's not really a river battle, is it, though? Because this is the enemy deployment zone over here, so unless they decide to deploy over here, which they might do, might be probably what I'd do, actually, if I was them. I'd deploy over here. We'll see what the AI does, though. The battlefields, as you may have noticed already, are a heck of a lot bigger since the Dynasties update than they versus how they were in the original game. The battlefields are like massive Rome 2 style battlefields now, which is pretty darn good.
Arrows of the East.
I'm wondering why our units are so small at the moment.
Blades. Strength.
I thought I was playing on huge unit sizes. Unit size. It's set to large for some reason. Oh, what? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize, but we're going to briefly restart the campaign because for some reason it's bumped my unit sizes down to large instead of extreme, which is what I've been playing on up until this moment. I don't know why it's done that, but that's properly annoying. Lost the very first battle. There we go, yeah. Always played it as extreme. Battles are sweet. Yeah. I was looking at the map thinking, like, why the hell is my army so tiny? Yeah. Crushing defeat, blah, 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 blah. Main menu, thank you very much. Let's go. I also had filtering on 8 times instead of 16 times. Has there been some sort of patch that's reset my settings? What the hell's going on, man? VSync is still on, at least. What's going on? Anti-aliasing is at 8 times, which is fine. Anisotropic filtering is at 16 times, which is fine. I think you probably misread that, whoever that was in the chat that said that. Yeah, proximity fading up. Okay, this all looks like it should be, with the exception of unit size, which should be on extreme. There we go. Alright. Once more with feeling. I think we'll have to start again. I don't think you can adjust that mid-campaign, so let's just quickly...
My heart for my people, my hate for my enemies.
Let's just do all this all over again. We'll jump straight into the battle this time and do all the settlement building crap afterwards. Apologies. Apologies for this, everybody. Kind of AA does Pharaoh use? I don't know, man. Haven't got a clue. All I know is the game runs actually really, really well on my system. I've had no performance issues whatsoever. There we go. Now my units are massive. There we go. That's much better. Right.
Looks clear.
Have at thee, you scumbag. Now that's interesting. Why? Now the balance of power is like massively skewed in my favor. Why is that? Don't know. It was 50-50 last time. We haven't started with different units this time, have we? No, we got the same stuff. Alright, dry, fog, just the same as last time, deploy. Okay, yep, same map and everything. It's slightly different time of day though, isn't it? Yeah, it looks like it's either sunset or sunrise. Okay. My boy. Ninurta. What is your bodyguard unit, man? It's archers, apparently. That's interesting. Composite bow bodyguard. That's unusual. But it means I guess it means he's at the back out of harm's way. However, there is every chance that he's going to get an arrow to the face in this first battle and immediately die. Hopefully that won't happen, but it wouldn't be the first time it's happened to me in this game since the update. Alright, here's our main melee units. We'll deploy them out in front for now. And then there's the horsemen. I can actually see some of the enemy over there right now, actually. There we go. What were they do have some javelin units, don't they? I'm wondering if it's worth
This is everything we trained for.
advancing through the forest on our left, but actually we've got some tall grass in front of us, which will provide cover for the light units. And I think almost all of these guys are light units, aren't they? So these levy archers and what have you. Hello, dudes. How do? They're all looking fantastic. Here's our cavalry, our somewhat ahistorical cavalry, but never mind. Until there's a mod released that removes cavalry, we're going to have to just roll with it. Right, okay. I think we'll do this. We'll get rid of this and start the battle.
The stars are aligned.
Let's march forward, but we'll stay in the grass. Now, cool thing about missile units in this game, is you go down here, you can toggle between arcing shot, where they arc their shots longer distance over like so, versus direct shot, where they shoot them directly straight forwards. Much shorter range if you use direct shot, and you can't shoot if you're being blocked by your own guys out in front, but they do a hell of a lot more damage when they shoot directly like that. By default, they're on mixed, which basically means they will arc their shots, but if there's an opportunity to shoot directly, they will do it automatically. But you can tell them to use exclusively one mode or the other if you want to, perhaps to save ammo. But one of the best things to do with missile units in this game is actually to get them around the flanks and then direct shot into the enemy's backs for a hell of a lot of damage. Okay, we're already doing some shooting at the Akkadian militia.
Assyrian roars.
Right, cavalry, out this way. Go away, overlay thing.
Clubs. Gods bless our bows. There they are.
I don't know why these guys are stuck highlighted. I remember that being a bug in the vanilla game too. Vanilla? I mean the original release, you know. Alright, you guys are actually on skirmish mode and I don't want you to be right now, so I'm gonna have you guys go out this way to the side.
Fight with pride.
Cavalry!
At the counter.
Need you circling around like that.
Like this.
I hope those are enemies routing. Yeah, they are.
Blades! I see our enemies! On the move! Aim!
Is that the enemy javelin, guys? It is, isn't it? Yeah, you see some of the troops are now shooting direct in front. They're not arcing their shots at the close range here, and they've done huge amounts of damage as a result of that. They've just routed the enemy unit during the charge. Bit of a charge of the light brigade moment there for the enemy. Oh god, horses are has gone straight into the routing enemy units. Asur levies are having a bad time fighting the spear and shield bodyguard over here, but they just need to hold the line for the moment, really.
Great is this day.
Right, cavalry over here.
Time to move. On we go. Archers, fire!
Step by step.
I want to get you guys around this way so you can shoot into the backs of these Akkadian farmers. They're currently engaged in my composite bow bodyguard in melee. However, I think they're probably, even though they're archers, because they're the bodyguard archers, they're probably going to be good enough to hold their own for a moment while we... Yeah, there we go. These guys are taking fire in the rear and they're not happy about it. Alright, go cavalry. Smack. Yeah, they didn't like that. They're routing. Enemy generals routing. And that's it. We've done it. We've won.
Room for success.
We won't miss.
Alright. That was a bit of a confusing one to do, on account of the fact that we're in the middle of a big grassy field with tall grass. Made it a bit more difficult to keep track of all the units versus if we'd been fighting out in the open here. But, it probably saved us taking some missile damage by fighting in the long grass. Right. Everyone stop shooting before you kill our own cavalry. Right, I guess the nice thing about having cavalry is that I can chase down these routing enemies and kill as many of them as possible. Because with a lot of the factions in this game who do not start off with cavalry or chariots, chasing down routing enemies is something you can't really do very easily. I've encountered that a lot when I was playing as the Mycenaean Greeks. They don't start off with any cav or chariots. And as a result, you win a battle and quite often a large number of the enemy forces actually manage to get away and you have to fight them again later. Can you do the... Ah, brilliant. The zoomed-in cavalry camera of death. Works just like it does in Rome 2. We got them all? Almost. Right, I think we'll end it here. That's good enough. It's going to make a very pretty YouTube series one day. One hopes, yes. Once I've read a bit more around the subject and educated myself a little bit on the late Bronze Age, I'd love to do a video series of this game in its current state. Especially after a few like nice overhaul mods come out and stuff, which improve things. I know there is a version of Agony out for Pharaoh Dynasties that is currently technically playable, but it disables a lot of the new features in order to make it work, and I don't really fancy it right now. So, I think I'd rather wait before I start messing around with that. But oh, come on, really? I bet this is an OBS streaming thing because something weird just happened. Before it crashed then, my other monitor went all really funky and weird, like Google Chrome just kind of spazzed out a bit and had a bit of a moment, and then Pharaoh just died on me. Typical. I've been playing this game for 3 days on the trot now on my own time, and I've had no issues with it. You start up a stream though. You start up a friggin' stream and all of a sudden the game wants to crash. Bloody hell. Alright. Let's load the autosave. You got crashes when loading save games. After the CTD, you can load the game fine again. Interesting. Do you know it's weird though? That was a classic Warscape engine post-battle crash. Because that happens to me quite often in Attila and Rome 2 as well. Actually, it's happened to me at least once or twice in the Galatian campaign on YouTube in Rome 2. Like the game has crashed right after finishing a battle. Yeah, here we go. I'm just going to auto-resolve it this time because the balance of power bar is ludicrously in our favour. Brutal. Okay.
I dedicate this victory to Ashur.
So we got some bronze, some food, experience, and Mesopotamian legitimacy out of the bargain, and we lost 172 guys, and we can go useless warriors, valuable prisoners. So we gained some food, such are the dictates of war. Kill them all. That would be very Assyrian of us, just beheading all the prisoners. Ashurbanipal was a big fan of beheading his prisoners, as evidenced by all the friggin' tablets I've seen in the British Museum of prisoners being beheaded. And they belong to us now. Some people's services are bought, some are exacted at the point of a spear, which gives us a 15% bit of unit replenishment. I'm gonna take that, actually. Get our units replenished back to full.
They are needed for Assyria's future. Glory to Assyria.
Because, look at that. They've got another stack of 7 units in the way.
Speak, now.
Their actual city is all the way down here on the banks of the... Is this the Euphrates or the Tigris? I forget which. I always get the two of them mixed up. So we might want to have to go fight this guy
Your heartless cause
next as well. However, Ninurta has leveled up. Ooh, wow, he starts off with like 4 ranks in Ardor. That's interesting. Lots of extra campaign movement. He's got like nothing in Fortitude. And almost nothing in Presence. I'm going to go with Improved Fortitude, I think. Oh, and you can have a title assigned. Quartermaster. Ammunition plus 15% for this army for missile units. Some commanders make their soldiers run after each stray stone or arrow. Cruel? Maybe. A teachable moment nonetheless. They bloody do that in the army these days. They make you pick up all the brass bullet casings. Some things never change, eh? Right. Does he have a background trait? Yeah, he does. Noble War Master. Trait predisposition, ambitious, brave, resolute, reckless. Presence +1 and ardor +4. Dreams of power coupled with genuine concern for the well-being of his people make this one a born ruler, albeit very short-tempered. Interesting. Does he have any ancillaries at the moment? He's just got common medium armor, Cushite bow, which is probably quite good actually. Uncommon. There is so here's a thing. I don't especially mind it in this game, but can someone give the games industry as a whole a collective memo that lets them know that not every single game has to have a Diablo-style loot system in it now? It's everywhere. You cannot escape it. Like, friggin' Total War and Bethesda games have Diablo-style loot systems in them now, with color-coded loot based on how common or uncommon they are. It's driving me up the wall. Why does it have to be in every single game? Anyway, I could swap that out for a common axe for +8 melee attack for his bodyguard unit, but I think I'd rather have that extra range, really. Also grants attribute Snipe, apparently. What does that do? Snipe. This unit remains hidden while firing. Oh, that's cheeky. Definitely take advantage of that. Especially as a general's unit, that would make them way less likely to get shot at, which would be very good. Also, we can equip his mount that he starts off with. Because I forgot that's a thing for the Assyrians. They all get mounts for free. So, we could put his guys on chariots. I see no reason why not to do this. Yes. Chariot, please. Let's do a little save. Right, let's take care of all the other stuff. Roll decrees. I believe we were going for longer festivals, were we not? And then we need to build stuff. We were building the militia barracks. I believe in one of these towns we were building a temple, weren't we, or something? I think we were building, yeah, a temple. And this one for workforce growth. Already got a stone quarry here, haven't we? I think we wanted management. Isn't there one here somewhere that... Yeah, grain pots. Didn't I build... Wasn't I building grain pots somewhere? I think I was building grain pots somewhere, but I'd rather have the temple, given the option. You know what? Honestly, that'll do for now. What are the rest of the pending actions? Oh, outposts. That was it. What was I going to build? Oh, the map is all skew-if. It's confusing me. Yeah. Just whip the map around so it's facing north again. Please and thank you. I think I wanted to build an economic trading post. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that'll do. The chariots don't mow down the enemy. They slow down at contact and just saying hi to the enemy. Yeah, chariots aren't really, unless they're like the Hittite melee ones, the special Hittite chariots, they're not really meant to be like used as traditional cavalry. Chariots are more like skirmishers. Where are you going, dude? Are you going to burn down one of my friggin' outposts, you cheeky sod? I think you just sacked my outpost or something. Or is he trying to go all the way around to one of my towns? I don't know what he's up to, but we're going to put a stop to it at once. Yeah, he sacked my outpost.
I shall persevere in my calling.
You wrecked the shrine of Ninurta, you heathen. How could you?
Protector of Assyria.
That won't do at all.
I will not hold back.
I probably should have recruited some more units during the end turn, but never mind. You son of a bitch. Alright. You get these. You do get those Hittite chariots, though, as I mentioned, the melee ones, where it's like they're big armored chariots. I can't remember if they have scythes on them or not, but they do have big dudes with like big long sticks, big long pointy sticks on them to skewer people with. But by and large, whoa, a storm, huh? I don't know if I really want to deal with that. Thank you. Let's switch to dry, which was forecast to turn into sweltering, which is increased fatigue buildup. Okay, well, I can live with that. Our troops probably going to get quite tired later on in the battle when it really heats up, I guess. Right. Okay. Where should we deploy? We're the attacker in this scenario, aren't we? I'd say we go over here and then march up over this hill. That seems like the correct life choice to me.
We'll make life walk.
Right, yes, you guys are on chariots now. Brilliant. I love that you can choose to equip or unequip the chariots, honestly. That's really neat. Like, you have the option before going into a battle. Like, would it be better for your guys to be on foot, or do you want them in the chariots? And you can choose. I like that a lot. Pretty sweet looking chariots too, aren't they? And then we've got the cab, haven't we, as well? Alright.
Harden your wills. Power through.
Alright, the infantry, you guys can run. The cav and the chariots, though, you stay at walking pace.
Celebrating our victory.
I've noticed that the frame rate on stream is not like 60 FPS. I don't know if it's just because of the quality settings at my end, but the game at my end is running like a solid 60 FPS, but on the stream it almost looks like it's running at more like 30. Don't know why that is. Probably some weird OBS nonsense.
Condemn you.
When in doubt, blame OBS, really.
Right on.
Get to there.
Acadian farmers. Time for you guys to die.
Proceed. Move order.
Get some direct shots in there with the cav. I mean the chariots. I'm gonna get those mixed up a lot, aren't I?
By my might, yes.
Go away, overlay thing. Keeps getting stuck open, that. I don't know why.
Send the volley.
Yeah, poor little unarmored dudes getting mowed down by missile units. That'll definitely hurt.
Noble warrior and champion of Assyria.
Okay, you guys are...
Go now.
I'm gonna take you off skirmish mode because you're going a little overboard with it. You're being a little too cautious, guys.
Step by step. Break them. Give it your best.
Frontal charge with the cav into those axemen. Pretty effective, actually. Very effective, in fact.
Blades. We march. Clubs.
Oh, those javelin guys. Yeah, we need to get in there and engage them in melee as soon as possible.
God bless our cause.
Embrace your
All
fury.
right, cav, withdraw. How are the chariots doing? You're stuck in melee with some farmers right now.
Brutalize them. Follow warriors. That way.
Bullying the heathens, yeah. As we should, damn it. Although these levies are a bit outnumbered now and outclassed.
Horses. We ride.
Right, chariots, just fucking mow those guys down that are retreating.
Arrows not.
Clubs. On the move.
Okay,
Step
they're
by
routing.
step.
We got more skirmishers over there.
On we go.
Cavalry,
Never sweated
kill
so much
them
in
before
my
they have a
life.
chance to
We
kill a lot of my
march.
dudes with their javelins. Because javelin guys, ooh, they're good javelin guys too. They're like, they've got shields and armor. Javelin units can be quite sort of flexible in this game, actually. Like if they're the good javelin units like this, they're reasonably competent in melee. Not against the cavalry charge, though, apparently.
Strike with precision.
Right.
I pray, Ashur, send some clouds.
Alright, chariots.
Cross over there.
The terrain is not ideal for you guys here, is it really? It's a little bit rocky and dodgy, but
Head there. How could it end like this?
Fear me. Steady your mounts. Spare
it
the
is kind of
horses.
insane how much of an advantage having a single cavalry unit is in this game.
Ever enduring. At a canter. We ride with haste.
Oh, you guys slowed down a bit. Did you end up in the mud there or something?
Higher! Higher! Ride on! Make the gods proud!
Smash.
Primed for battle.
Move order. I'm not staying here.
For enemies vanquished.
Did we see the end of the Doom Dromers campaign? No! I think we will come back to that next week,
We
but
survive another day.
I wanted to stream some Pharaoh this weekend because the Dynasties update literally just came out and I've been enjoying it immensely, so I wanted to showcase it on the channel and basically just put the word out there that Pharaoh is good now. It's worth buying.
Our Duke led us to triumph.
Mighty steeds.
Well, it's worth buying if you have a passing interest in the Bronze Age anyway. If you don't give a shit about the Bronze Age,
The gods guide us.
then your money might be better spent elsewhere, but as someone who does kind of find the Bronze Age quite interesting,
Cut them down.
I've been enjoying the heck out of it.
Marduk has abandoned us.
Marduk has abandoned us.
Cavalry, ready!
I think we're... Oh, I love, by the way, how the chariots, like, they flatten the grass as they go across it. Like a tractor going across a field. That amuses me. This is it's an amusing detail. But yeah, they leave tracks in the grass.
Proud and tall.
Alright. We're done. Charges have all been very pleasing so far. Yeah, they're pretty good. The cavalry charges are absolutely devastating, aren't they? I think the lethality system has made them crazy good. As I said, I think the game could do with a little bit of a balance pass when it comes to the lethality system, because cav are kind of comically effective at the moment, as are a lot of the missile units, especially javelins. They could do with tweaking that just a tiny bit.
You are the pride of Assyria, warriors.
I think we should kill them all because they defiled the shrine. So, yeah, you're all getting beheaded.
I care not about their fate. Glory to Assyria and its people.
Right.
For I am their savior.
Look at it. They wrecked it. They absolutely wrecked it. Oh, I already was repairing it. My bad. The bloody Shrine of Ninurta has been savaged.
Resist me and you will die.
My goodness. Can we recruit
I serve
some
a great
stuff?
cause.
We can. What do we want? What have we got available? Acadian farmers. They're the two-handed light axe infantry who, so far, we've absolutely steamrolled in every battle we've been in with them, so... Not exactly a glowing review for them. I could do... let's take a unit of Asser levies with the Kopeshers, because they're alright. And a unit of...
Strength, honor, discipline.
Yeah, unit of the javelin guys. Because javelin skirmishers in this game can be really effective if you use them correctly. Hell, I have an extra unit of melee levies as well. Bulk out the battle line with them.
Yes?
Alright, he's going to sit there waving his sword in the air, recruiting some dudes. Meanwhile, let's have a look at the reminders tab. What have we got going on? Oh! New skill point
Not
thing.
convenient.
What do we want to give you? More movement, honestly. We're a big, open, landlocked sort of region at the moment, so more movement points is certainly good. This I believe this campaign map is the biggest they've ever done in a historical Total War game. That's what I've heard. In terms of, like, not geographically, but in terms of the number of settlements on the campaign map. It's the biggest they've ever done for a historical title.
All answer to me.
Like, even just Greece over here is friggin' massive. You can't see it through all the stupid cloud at the moment, but I've been playing as Mycenaean Greece. And Greece is friggin' huge. You could probably spend an entire campaign just at that end of the map unifying Greece and doing probably not a lot else, and there'd still be more than enough content over there to keep you entertained. Why your general always beheading? It's just, he's an Assyrian, man. That's what they do. They love a good beheading, those guys. I'm not even kidding. Like, if you ever go to the, you ever go to the British Museum and you go to the Assyrian bit, the bit where they've got all these ancient Assyrian and Egyptian stuff, you look at all the friggin' tablets from the reign of Ashurbanipal, and it's just, as dudes getting beheaded on like every single friggin' tablet. It's amazing. Bloodthirsty bunch, man. Right, yeah, do we want to construct another outpost right now? So we're building a trade one over here, an economic outpost. We could build a fort over here, but I think I don't know if I really want to. We've got one fort here. which honestly is not a great place for a fort. Like, not gonna lie. I think I'd rather the fort was over here in this slot. Or down here at this, in this empty site there. I think I might demolish it. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this fort and rebuild it somewhere else. Duara, which I think would one day become known as Dara. In Roman times, there was a very famous battle fought there between Belisarius and the Persians. A monument would be good just for the extra legitimacy. Another economic trading post thing though would be good. Ooh, where do I want way stations? Because way stations are handy. They're extra handy if you're in Egypt and there's lots of desert, but they're pretty handy in general anyway. I actually think a way station, that right there, this fort I'm demolishing, that's probably where I want to put my way station. So this here, another trading economic thingy. Oh, we can look at the ruling family tree, which at the moment consists of just this dude and nobody else. We could arrange a marriage. So you can get diplomatic marriages in this. So we can marry someone from our faction here. Genius mind. Chance of having a child plus 3%. Marriage eligibility plus 6. Pious zealot. Ardor plus 3 for the general. Alternatively, what we could do is go diplomacy. Let's go attitude. There we go. So who's relatively friendly with us? These guys over here.
Will arise again.
Zuzuli here. They're neutral, improving, positive factors. Treaties with Huru, pastoral with Karkamish. Do we have a treaty with you guys? Yeah, we have a non-aggression pact with Huru. Would you guys be open to some sort of marriage thing?
Surprise.
That might not be an option. I don't think they've got any eligible characters. Yeah, it doesn't look like it is. That's unfortunate. Who else could we talk to then? Maybe
take care of
you guys up to the north here? No, they don't seem to like us very much. Mostly because we're friends with Huru.
Master of the arts.
This guy's ruler of actual Assyria, as it turns out. So we're probably going to end up at war with him at some point. Yeah, because he's the current king of Assyria, isn't he, this guy? So that's no good. Unless...
We must stand together.
Find marriage matches. Here we go. Okay. So you guys we could get a marriage with, and...
We must be ruthless.
This Hittite faction we could get a marriage with as well.
Everybody has their duty. Hati will arise again.
Oh, that's interesting. There's a Hittite faction on the other side of the river.
I take care of problems.
You guys are neutral and improving.
You are not telling me everything, Ninorka.
Marriage.
Well,
diplomatic marriage.
Not.
So she's a hedonist, apparently. Fortitude plus 3 for the general and plus 10% chance of having a child. That's excellent news, actually. She's perfect. Ninsunu. Confirm. However, we're going to need to sweeten the deal for them to go for that, apparently. Baseline evaluation is -8. So, what do you guys need at the moment? You need bronze and you need gold. Very well. Oh, you can trade settlements in this now as well, by the way. Trading settlements is back, finally, in Total War games. You can trade settlements in Pharaoh. There you go, trade regions. It can be done now. I think you can marry your way into becoming Pharaoh in Dynasty without having to conquer it at all. Yeah, I don't know exactly how it works. I haven't tried it yet, but you can try and get yourself married into the royal dynasty, can't you? And become king or Pharaoh or whatever that way. I believe that can be done. Single barter. What do they want? Bronze and gold. How are we doing for bronze and gold? We've got a bit of gold. We don't have any gold income, but we also don't have any gold upkeep, so we've got a little pile of gold here we can use to try and sweeten this here deal. And bronze, we've got a bit of, although our bronze income is pretty poor at the moment, actually. It's not very good. This could prove to be a little expensive, actually. Don't know if it's going to be worth it. We've got tons of food, so we could try and throw in a bit of that as well, even though it's not a preferred resource for them. We've literally got like 5,000 food, so if I just give you like two grand's worth of food, my dude, would that help a bit? Oh, I'm not up for giving you like all my gold. Like you can have 100 if you want, but bit of timber as well, maybe. He's asking a lot for this. He is, this bastard. He truly is. There we go. Finally. That's expensive, but fine.
I approve the deal.
Ahia Baba, you swine. Non-aggression pact as well, while we're at it.
Pleasure doing business.
Brilliant. Thank you, matey. You can also request legitimacy off people. You can trade resources and things for legitimacy if you want. And legitimacy is essentially the currency you use to help you try and become Pharaoh or king or whatever. Use it in the royal court mechanics, which at the moment is locked. We can't access it right now.
Protector of Assyria.
All right, cool. Got our dude a wife. There she is. And hopefully, we could divorce her if we wanted to pay 20 gold for it, but hopefully they'll produce an heir soon, and then we'll actually have an heir, and the succession will be secure. Because at the moment, if you take a stray javelin in a battle, my dude, right now, we're going to be in a bit of bother. What are you doing down there? They're clearly recruiting a new army, aren't they? Expired barters with Mitre. Almost said Malta then. Nope, Mitre. Whatever. I don't know what we were trading exactly, but I'm kind of okay with it expiring because it looks like all the resource income is fine. Oh, maybe we were importing bronze because that's now gone down to +4 a turn. That's not great. Any bronze income settlements around here? We clearly have a bit of a shortage of bronze. Yeah, that's interesting. Shudu up there has bronze. I see this is where the resourcing system starts to get genuinely interesting because we have a total shortage of bronze. And that's a bit of a problem because your medium to high tier units do use bronze for upkeep, so we are going to be stuck with some trash tier units if we can't secure a supply of bronze. Now we could trade for it, but that is less than ideal. Yeah, I know. If you click the thing here, it shows you what the deal was. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we were importing some bronze for some timber. And if you can click this to renew the barter agreement. However, apparently we can't really renew it exactly as it was. They don't they clearly don't seem to like us as much these days. So if we were going to renew it, they're probably going to demand a little bit more for it. There you go, yeah. They want slightly more for it. 29, 28, 20, no, okay, 28. 28 timber for that 40 bronze then.
We shall proceed with this plan.
Mitre, is that all the way up there somewhere? So we're importing bronze from the Hittites, it looks like. Because I think the Hittites have a lot of bronze. We not so much.
Looks clear.
Right. Time for us to go on the offensive, I think.
Warriors.
Alternatively, maybe we should stick around and recruit some more units. No, let's get over here because this is where the road is. So let's
move yourself,
over
warriors.
here. Do a bit more recruitment.
Is a must.
I see the levy archers. They have a bronze upkeep as well as food. Whereas everybody else here just has food upkeep. So we're not going to recruit any more archers for now. Let's go with another unit of hunters and... Yeah, the Kopesh guys seem to be better than the club guys in every single metric, it seems to me. So I don't know why we'd bother with those guys other than they are ever so slightly cheaper.
I seek strong warriors.
Let's have some more Kopesh infantry, please.
What now?
Be pending actions. Settlement upgrade available. Oh, I've just noticed as well, the deity screen is available. There's Ninurta, our first of the gods. The other two are Ashur and Ishtar. You can see all the different gods on this screen. Because you can, if you want to, adopt other gods not within your set pantheon. You can kind of customize your pantheon of gods you want to worship a little bit in this game. If you control a settlement with the correct culture, I believe, you can incorporate foreign gods into your pantheon, which is pretty neat, actually. Marduk, Poseidon, Zeus, Ares, Apollo, Aphrodite, Ra, Ptah, Horus, Anubis, Isis, Set, Amun, Osiris, Thoth, Moloch, Baal. I love the Canaanite gods; they're the coolest. Moloch, Baal, El, Asherah, Yam, who is... What even is that, man? Kumarbi is a Hittite god. Karunta, it's Hittite. Shaushka, Arena, Tahuna. Yeah. Still pretty darn cool. Baal makes you think of Stargate SG-1. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that's what they were referencing in that. That's who Baal is supposed to be.
Nothing passes me by.
You only know some of them from Stargate, yeah.
Resist me and you will die.
Right.
The stars.
Some of them you might recognize from playing Rome Total War if you've ever played as Carthage, like Baal, for example, because the Carthaginians were originally Phoenicians from this part of the world, which is where the Canaanites hang out. So the Phoenicians, they went off and colonized a lot of the Mediterranean, and Carthage was a Phoenician colony originally, which is why Carthage, way over there in like modern day Tunisia, they worshipped Baal as well.
Praise Assyria.
Right, I think we're just gonna hit enter, aren't we? There's nothing else to do right now. I don't think, unless... Oh, I want to build some stuff. We still got a happiness problem right now, big time, don't we? How would we best fix that? Why is it so bad? It's not idle workforce, that's fine, that's under control. It's taxes and events. So happiness is deteriorating. At the current rate, there'll be a rebellion in 11 turns. Hmm. I've been playing, as I said, I was playing as the Mycenaeans, and they're really easy to manage their towns. They don't tend to have a lot of happiness problems, Mycenaeans. Clearly it's a bit more difficult playing as Assyria, though. Military support, guard tower, happiness +1. Because we don't seem to have a lot of buildings that increase happiness, is the thing. A public square would get you some. A new scry stand, which could then be a public square, which could then be a hall of messengers. Probably worth it for the influence, I guess. So we'll go with that, I suppose. Do we have any outposts that boost happiness, perhaps? Maybe that's what I'm missing here with the Assyrians. Or maybe it's a religion thing. Let's have a look at Ninurta. We're at level, we're at tier 1 with a Ninurta at the moment. You upgrade this by building more like shrines and temples and things. Shrines, recruitment rank +1 for units in this region, +4 influence. The prayer, if we want to do that, is charge bonus and reload speed, dwellings. Okay, nothing to do with happiness here. Ishtar gets you happiness, apparently. Shrines dedicated to this god provide +4 happiness. However, the cult center for Ishtar is all the way down there. So we can't really adopt Ishtar right now. Kind of unfortunate. But headings will continue until morale improves. I don't suppose any of the military buildings provide happiness, do they? No. I guess we'll go with another new scry stand here in Shadikani. We'll have to stack up these happiness bonuses, I suppose, as best we can. What province effects have we got at the minute? Winter. Oh, we're getting -3 happiness just because it's winter at the moment, which doesn't help. Alright. You can actually see the season down here as well. You'll notice it says food +5%, but that is actually specifically, if you look at the fine print, for farms on the Tigris and Euphrates and farms on the Nile. So that +5% food bonus in winter will only apply if, for example, we controlled Sangaritu down here. This place would benefit from it. Because you're on the... this is either the Tigris or the Euphrates. I can't remember which. Right.
I stir but great
turn.
cause.
Oh, my camera's gone all funky again. Oh, what are you guys doing? Not sure what they're hoping to accomplish with just one dude. I think they're just wandering about, relocating for some reason.
My might
Okay.
swells.
Your might swells, does it? My goodness. That was a bit too much information there, my man.
Everyone.
Hold on, I'm just gonna fuck about with the camera, say, slightly. Super professional, isn't it? But... no, I'm not making it any better, am I? Wait, what is the issue here? Is it too bright over here or something? Is it too bright over here? Is it my lighting setup that's the... yeah, it's this big-ass lamp at the moment that's the problem. Okay. Sorry about that. His rod of lordly might.
You have news?
How about we move this way down... Can we make it just across the river and back into our own territory just then to recruit at the end of the turn? That would be sneaky if we could do that, but let's see if we can manage it. Oh, we did! Just about. There we go.
Strength, honor,
brilliant.
Discipline.
What do we want to recruit then? You know what? We could probably just about afford another
Summon your
unit
best.
of archers.
Art
There we
is
go.
the finest.
It's going to be lots of low-level
I do
infantry
this for
spam at this
Assyria.
stage of the campaign. Right. Roll decree available. What do we want? That's given us +3 happiness in our faction capital province, at least. Irrigation earthworks. Food +25%. Cuneiform script +5 legitimacy. Cuneiform script is wonderful. If you've ever seen, you know, the dragon language in Skyrim, on the word walls and stuff, it's essentially a form of cuneiform. When Bethesda came up with the dragon language, they was heavily inspired by cuneiform script. Do we want to go for irrigation earthworks, or affinity with the forest, or farming the forests? More food is good. More food is good. It's the chief upkeep
Protector of
resource
Assyria.
for our armies. More food is always good, so let's go for it. If we upgrade this, it will give us a bit of extra happiness. So let's upgrade the main settlement. Upgrade our capital city. Still at -2 sodding happiness, but it's better than it was. Can't build anything else for now. I'm being very indecisive over my outposts at the moment. Ah, this was going to be a way station, wasn't it? Except we don't have enough timber to build it. Now that I've demolished that fort, we don't have enough sodding timber to build it. Harumph. All right, well. If I wanted to build a fort, where would I build it? Here's good for a fort, I think. Because that borders on with the King of Assyria's territory. And if we want to instigate a civil war and take the crown, we're going to be fighting in this direction anyway. So I think having a fort there would be good. Now, who is it we had a non-aggression pact with? Was it you guys? We got non-aggression pacts with Huru
We must be ruthless.
and Kare.
Everybody has their duty.
Okay, so for now we're not immediately planning on warring with you guys. So I think we could build something more peaceful down here. Like another shrine.
Nothing passes me by.
Oh, here's the Pillars of Civilization screen, by the way. At the moment, civilization state is in prosperity. You can see here, like, the current score is 670, which puts us way up in prosperity here at the moment. But, yeah, the Pillars of Civilization are maintained by the cult center settlements throughout the world. If those settlements are underdeveloped or ruined, invaders are emboldened and disaster may strike. Basically, the more the important settlements in the game get trashed, the more civilization as a whole begins to suffer. the civilization state score starts to go down. You get into crisis and eventually towards collapse, and essentially that comes with some penalties and whatnot. Currently we're in prosperity, so we actually get +2 replenishment faction-wide. If we went into crisis, all our units would have -10% to their morale. We get -10% to replenishment. We do get more resources from raising cities. If we go into collapse, it's kind of the same, but just gets even worse. There's also, for the nomadic tribes and sea people factions, they actually get more bonuses depending on how bad things are getting, which is interesting. And there's also a percentage chance of bad things or good things occurring depending on what the civilization state is. At the moment, we've got a 10% chance of a blessing occurring and a 3% chance of a disaster occurring, but essentially, the worse this gets, the more chance of disasters and things happening. More chance of sea people invasions, natural disasters, all that kind of thing. So I could do a quick one-off trade for timber, yeah, if I really wanted to. I don't really feel the need to right now. It's not desperate that we build that
me and you will die.
way station right now. But yeah, if you were in a pit, if you were in a tight spot, you could totally do a single one-off trade for a bit of extra timber to get that built this turn.
The stars.
Wouldn't be a problem.
What?
Oh, unassigned skill points. Inertia has
Looks
leveled
clear.
up. Let's go with a bit of, yeah, fortitude. Right, we are within striking distance of Sangaritu now. They do have an army around here somewhere. It's not a very big one, but they do have one. What kind of garrison does Sangaritu have? It's an 8-unit garrison, so it's not massive. Still, it could be reinforced from other forts and stuff in the region that we don't know about, so the settlement garrison here is not always the whole story.
I serve a great cause.
Sometimes it's a good idea to take out the fort before you move on to the main city, because then that way you can kind of divide and conquer the enemy forces rather than having to face them all in the same battle. Can you do anything to keep civilization going? We've been just suffering the collapse cluelessly. A lot of it's out of your control, but the best thing you can do really is just ensure that your own cult center settlements that you have under your control are upgraded as much as you can. They can be. In my Mycenaean campaign, there you go, there's a blessing. Civilization prospers. Fertility. Growth is increased. Now we can choose an ambition. I'll get to that in a second. Yeah, in my Mycenaean campaign, civilization went into crisis really quickly, actually, within like the first probably 15 turns. Yeah. Eventually, that course corrected itself. But I think what happened was probably one of the cult center settlements somewhere in the world got razed to the ground, and that massively tanked the civ rating. And eventually, slowly, it got rebuilt, and eventually, and then the civ rating recovered over a few turns. But yeah. Why does it look so laggy when you end turn? I don't know. It's always like that. I'm not sure what you mean. Anyway, choose an ambition. These are essentially like the council missions in Medieval 2, but you get to choose. So your might must grow. My might must grow. Maintain 25 units in total. Expansion, hold 5 settlements, currently 3. Or peace and its discontents. Win 1 battle. Easy money. The reward's not as good for that one, but it's easier to achieve, so we'll go for it.
Not convenient.
Settlement upgrade available. Shadikani. Yeah. Okay. Do it.
People laugh and smile. I do too.
What kind of a voice line was that?
By Ninurta.
Okay. Oh, I think it's time to march on the city. Take it and get rid of these guys once and for all. Yeah, they do have a fort over here. There you go. Look. The garrison currently is question mark, though. We don't know what they have there, but I'm sure we're about to find out.
I do this for Assyria.
Right, here we go. So they've got their one general who's nearby. the settlement garrison, and apparently the outpost garrison is just another character bodyguard unit. All right, we can do this. We could wait them out, but I don't really see a reason to wait, honestly. Battle of Sangaritu. Okay. Current weather dry, forecast sweltering. I can go with that. Well, here's the city. It's actually a bit more impressive looking than I thought it was going to be, actually. Oh, I love the settlement maps in this. Yeah, they clearly did tons of research on what Bronze Age cities used to look like and whatnot, because the settlement battle maps in this game are really, really awesome. They look fantastic. The Egyptian ones are definitely the best, but these Mesopotamian ones are pretty darn good too. As are the Hittite ones. The Hittite ones are amazing. They have loads of really cool statues everywhere. Check out all the statues. And they're painted as well, like they would have been in real life. They weren't just plain stone. They're all covered in paint. It was all very, very colourful and whatnot. Right, we're over here.
Soon they'll weep for their mothers.
What's the best angle to attack from? Probably over here, I would guess. Means we don't have to go through a river to get there. We can deploy everybody just over here. There's a bit of mud. Oh, this is very muddy. Yeah, there's mud and there's also shallow water. Shallow water and marshland are difficult for small units to traverse and fight in, yeah. If we want to get into the city through here, we have to go through this bloody great puddle. In fact, there are really no good ways into the city, are there? They've got a kind of moat sort of thing going on, haven't they? This here is pretty much the only one that isn't all muddy and bogged down and whatnot. So I guess we'll start over here. Alright, Kopesh boys. Let's get you all set up there. We've got the club dudes as well. Archers. Have you up in front. I think if I'd remembered to do it, I probably would have dismounted you guys on the chariots for this one. Let's deploy you over there. For now, we've got the cav. Let's put you over there. And then we've got the javelin guys as well.
We have trained for this, brothers.
Nice close-up of all the units, because they are very detailed and whatnot.
Death comes for our foes today.
Unfortunately, it's all pretty low-tier stuff, so these units don't have the best drip, but these guys are pretty darn good. The chariot dudes. Love these guys. Oh, there's a screenshot for sure. There we go. Where's Ninurta himself, anyway? Is he up at the front somewhere? Where's your boy? Where's the big man himself?
Fight smart and stay focused.
Should be on one of these. This game does have a photo mode as well, by the way. There he is. Yeah, he's got the extra blinged out chariot with the teal feathers on it and stuff. Sweet. There he is. It's a very pretty game when it wants to be, isn't it? All right. Oh yeah, you're not going to get... There's like over 300 settlements in this game. There's no way all of them are going to be completely unique. It's going to be like in every other Total War game with settlement battles. You know, there'll be a settlement template that is used, and the local surrounding terrain probably will change a bit, depending on where you are in the world. You're not going to get completely unique settlement layouts, and you never have in any Total War game ever. So, I'd forget about that.
I am unstoppable!
Got to stop and enjoy the spectacle from time to time. That's part of the reason we play Total War games instead of just playing Age of Empires or something.
Spill some blood!
Alright. So they got a couple of sword units here. Acadian militia. Oh, it's spearmen and militia there. Archers.
Our javelins will tear.
Let's have a look at these guys. What kind of protection do they have? They've got some little shields and some armor. You guys are a bit better protected, I think. You've got bigger shields, but we're going to pelt you with missiles because... fuck it. We can.
Nothing can stop us.
In fact, I'm going to put you guys on direct shot.
By your request.
Which reduces their range quite significantly, but it's going to do a lot more damage. Oh yeah, don't turn your backs to the javelins, boys. That's not a great idea. Although they've now opened fire with air archers, haven't they? So
With all your strength.
Fight with pride.
oh yeah, boy. Point blank missile fire like that, it's quite effective.
Marksman. Shoot now.
Oh boy, look at that. The water's being stained red with blood. I've never seen that effect happen before, but that's pretty sweet. Oh boy, yeah, okay. These archers over here are getting absolutely nailed. This unit started to rout already.
Embrace your fury. We must act.
There's no turning this around. Time to move. Room for success.
Move you guys to the edge of the mud here.
Honor the gods. The gods guide
Javelin
us.
guys doing their thing. This is why I wanted javelins in the army, because they're quite effective.
How could it end
Alright.
like this? Assyria roars.
I'm hesitant to send cavalry into mud, but
Blades. Horses.
those archers are just friggin' sitting there, you know?
Withdraw now.
Marksman. Embrace your fury.
Get those guys to rout. Oh, they're shaken, but they're not running.
Fight with
Alright, fall back. We've got quite a few routing units at the moment.
Arrows locked.
Just Move you guys over here. You can get some flanking fire into that general.
Blades! Step by step! We march! Rend their
Oh, where did the cavalry end up? Oh my god. Okay, I lost track of you guys a little bit. You need to get out of there. If you can. Bloody hell. Gotten caught by the enemy spearmen. That's not good. Oh, you're being shot to shit as well. Ew.
For the homeland!
Get out of there!
Tremble!
No. What are you doing? What are you doing? Go this way. Go this way, you fools. Oh.
No! Death will not take me! Honor the gods!
Yeah. Can confirm sending the cavalry into the mud was in retrospect, not the smartest idea I've ever had.
Fight with pride! Make the gods proud!
Now, one thing we've not played with really yet is unit stances.
Clubs!
Most of our units we have at the moment don't really get any interesting stances though, so it's sort of whatever, but...
Shift out!
Some units do get some interesting ones. If you play as the Greeks, you'll get probably early on some spearmen who are able to do phalanxes and stuff, so... As an example.
Turning this around. On we go!
Clubs!
Just send the clubmen over this way.
Blades!
You'll notice as well that the melee engagements here are actually quite slow.
Harden your wills!
They don't tend to be resolved very quickly because most melee units like this have pretty low lethality. So they're not getting a lot of kills, they're just sort of tying the enemy up.
Arrows of the east! Clubs! Honor the gods!
Wait, cavalry that actually listens to your orders? What is this witchcraft? Well, that's what you get for not playing Medieval 2, I have to admit.
Tremble before us!
Just about, for some reason, Medieval 2 has the shittest cavalry mechanics in a total war game.
No
Pretty much all the others are much better.
Gods bless our bow!
Stuck in, boys. Oof. That looked painful. Dude's wriggling around on the floor down there.
How could it end like this?
There, we got it. We managed to trigger a mass rout.
I'm not safe.
There's still blood in the water over here, there is. Beautiful. And all our dudes are covered in mud.
Defeat is for the weak.
I was going to say a bit like Medieval 2, but in Medieval 2 all your units get covered in mud regardless. In this game they only get covered in mud if they're actually in mud. Right, we're pretty much done here. What happened to my cavalry in the midst of all that? I feel like they might have routed and run off. Because, yeah, they're not on my unit bar anymore. They're either all dead or they ran away.
No hesitation! Engage combat!
Right, we can actually end the battle now. It's a settlement battle, so we're not going to be penalised for not catching all the enemies. However, it is fun mowing them all down, so I'm going to do it anyway. Oh, hello.
No.
The chase is on over here still. Oh, you guys are about to get caught. Splat. Blood to death. Oh, there he goes.
I pray Ashur send some clouds! Marduk has abandoned us!
Go on, we can get him. Who's gonna get him? There we go. Right, we're done. And that is a very pretty view. That's a screenshot. Right there, that's totally worth a screenshot. Is it so sunny right now because the weather's sweltering? Yeah, it is. I've noticed since the update that unit fatigue, even with sweltering weather, is very much like less of a thing than I remember it being in the original release of Pharaoh.
Strike with precision.
Units just don't seem to lose a lot of fatigue. I mean, these guys are fresh, even though they've been in melee, fighting in the mud, you know. These guys are active. Fresh. Active. Like fatigue seems to recover ridiculously quickly in this game, and that's something I would change, personally. Whether that's either going to be through a mod or through a patch. But unit fatigue seems to be such a non-issue in this game, and that's one thing I would like to change. Anyway. I always wonder why they never dropped all those heavy weapons and armor and ran. Well, it's because in video gamey terms, it's because if the unit rallies, then they're going to need the weapons still. So the alternative is you have them drop their weapons and run, but then if the unit rallies, they have their weapons magically teleport back into their hands. And I don't think that's a very immersive choice either. So I was hoping heavy units would feel fatigue quickly. Do you know what, Jacob? That's actually a fair point. We have our entire army right now is extremely light infantry, and so that might be part of it. If we could get our hands on some heavy infantry with a lot of armor and stuff like that, it would be interesting to compare and see if those guys get tired out quite quickly by comparison. So that is something maybe I'm not taking into consideration. All right, occupy or loot and occupy. You do get a lot of nice stuff for looting and occupying, and one of the big things as well is that you get unit replenishment. So if you're on campaign and you've got more battles to fight ahead of you in enemy territory, sometimes quite often I loot just to get the unit replenishment. But on this occasion, because I think this is their last settlement and the war will be over, I'm just going to occupy.
I want order here. The cry of triumph.
Ambition fulfilled. There we go. Faction destroyed. Suhu. We're now at peace. We have, as the Romans did, made a desert and called it peace. Hey, C-Team. We're playing as one of the Assyrian factions at the moment, Hane Galbat, led by Ninurta Apple Eker, this guy, who has grand ambitions of becoming king of Assyria. We've just crushed one of our regional rivals, and now peace is broken out. Now we're on relatively good terms with Huru, these guys to our west, and Kare, who are down to the southeast here. We're in pretty good terms with them. These guys up here, this is the current king of Assyria up here, I believe, in this territory, and he's the guy who we're going to inevitably pick a fight with if we want to become king. Or is it this territory? I forget. One of these guys is the king of Assyria. There's also other avenues we could expand into as well if we wanted to. Hello, Valon. But yes, we're over in Assyria right now, in Mesopotamia, because this is one of the brand new factions added in the Dynasties update. I fancied playing as one of the brand new ones rather than going back to Egypt or the Hittites or Canaanites, because they were already in the game prior to the update, but this is all new over here. That plus the Greeks and Trojans in this neck of the woods, but a lot of their stuff you will have already seen if you've played Total War Troy, whereas this is all totally brand new. So, plus I think ancient Assyria and Mesopotamia in general is kind of interesting. Commandment available. Oh yeah, because we've got the whole province now, haven't we? So we can have a provincial commandment thingy. What do we got? Might of Assyria. Royal Gardens. Professional recruiters. Farmers turn miners. Increase woodcutting efforts. Organize festivities. Let laborers rest. Organize festivities probably be good because happiness at the moment is shocking. It really is shocking. So let's organize festivities. Hey, let's commemorate our great victory. And also level up Ninurta. Let's go with that for a bit less unit upkeep. What season is it currently? Is it spring? No, it's summer. Happiness is... Okay, next turn only for Conquest, which is -15. So that's most of the unhappiness that's going to go away. And then it's just provincial instability, which will slowly go away, and then taxes. So, not unsalvageable. By any stretch of the imagination, but we do need to make sure we keep on top of building all those happiness buildings, because as Assyria, we don't seem to get a lot of them. Happiness or public order, whatever you want to call it, is going to be a bit of an issue for this faction, it seems to me. Map looks even nicer at night. Yeah. When the civilization state changes, by the way, if it goes into crisis or collapse, the ambience on the map changes as well. Like it gets sort of like the daytimes turn into a sort of like sunset, sunrise kind of a thing. Like the sky goes more orange and whatnot, and it gets kind of darker, ambient light-wise and stuff. So the vibe, if you like, of the campaign map changes depending on the civ state. You can, if you want to, actually. You can go like cinematic cam on the campaign map and just get a better look at it all, if you want to. I love the campaign map in this game. It's probably the prettiest one they've ever done, or at least for a long time. It's definitely up there in like my top 5 Total War campaign maps.
All answer to me.
You produced an heir yet, dude? I suppose you've been busy on campaign, but peace is here now, so get on with it, Ninurta, mate. Make some goddamn babies so we have an actual dynasty to work with. Lazy git. Look, we specifically secured you at great expense your hedonist wife who has a plus 10% chance of having children. So, no excuses, matey. Hope Pharaoh takes off. It's very good. Yeah, I do too, honestly. I think it will a little bit. Without naming names, I've seen a lot of the slightly clickbaity Total War focused YouTube channels out there starting to give this positive reviews when previously they were trashing it. So it seems like the tide of screamy Total War public opinion has turned more in favor of this game now, which will naturally translate into probably more sales. The Steam reviews for it are very good, which they must be pleased with, I'm sure. Yeah, that's a fort there, isn't it? That's the other guys built that. I'm not sure we really need that. I think we might demolish this fort. This over here, this could be a way station. If we had the resources for it, which we currently don't. We will next turn, though. Yeah, it is a shame they won't develop it further, really. As I was saying earlier, it would be really sweet if they eventually did like expanded the game to add new campaigns in other time periods for like the Assyrian Empire in the 9th century BC, and like the rise of Persia would be pretty sweet as well. You'd have to expand the map a bit over in this direction. But yeah, if you did a brand new campaign for it about Cyrus the Great in Persia and that, a bit like in the Rise of Persia mod for Rome we played a while back, that would have been pretty darn cool. Because you could have cavalry in that campaign and have it not be historical. Why develop that when modders will do it for free? Well, the problem is, like, there's no guarantee modders will do it for free, Pete, honestly, because modding a Total War game is seriously hard bloody work these days because of, like, the amount of work and effort that has to go into all the asset creation and stuff, considering how good the graphics are for these games now. Like, it's a miracle we even have as many mods as we do for Attila.
I serve a great cause.
And I feel like at the end of the day, Pharaoh is, because of its Bronze Age setting, this game is always going to be so niche that it's never probably going to attract the same modding talent that, like, Attila and Rome 2 have. Because everybody fucking loves Romans at the end of the day. Like, people fucking love Romans and they love the Middle Ages. So you're always going to attract a lot of customers for those games and a lot of modders as well. But the Bronze Age, that's way more niche. Not as many people care about the Bronze Age. Right, what is the time? Coming up on nearly 10 o'clock, holy crap. I'll go for a few more turns. Why not? Sit here, have a chat with the chat. For a bit longer. I'm sure this game will get some probably quite nice mods, but I think there'll be more kind of like overhaul mods that don't change the time period or anything like that. They just improve the existing game mechanics a bit. Oh, you guys want to trade... This is a Thura, right? We're talking to right now? Yeah. Ilipada, ruler of Athura. He wants to trade... They want 70 gold off me for 785. No, fuck off, dude. That's nowhere near worth... That is remotely worth it. Holy crap, man. Do you see any gold mines over here? Yes, Robert E. Howard, yeah, he famously, one of the reasons he wrote fantasy is because he couldn't be bothered to do the research to write historical fiction. He actually did write some historical fiction, but very quickly he decided, right, fuck it, I'm going to make up a fantasy setting that is incredibly similar to real history, but I won't have to do nearly as much research. Which is why his,
Nothing passes me by.
his fantasy setting... oh crap, what's it called? The Hyborian Age is suspiciously similar to the Bronze Age, but not quite the same.
Protector of Assyria.
Regional Administration Center. Is that worth it? Maybe. How much does it cost? 100 stone, 35 wood. Yeah, go for it. Ah, the court screen's opened up.
This is the heart of the universe, and I am its master.
Yeah, that's him up there, King of the Universe. We've got King of Babylon, King of Assur, King of Elam, King of Hanagelbat. That's us right there. Plot assassinate. Plot to remove a position holder permanently. Sometimes a character will be wounded instead of assassinated. So we currently occupy this slot. Position benefits are we get extra court actions once per year. Scheme. We get the assassinate plot. We get elite units, Great Mitanni chariots, as well as 20 legitimacy. Okay, interesting. Interesting. What are our relations with these various guys? Babylon really don't like us very much. Not surprising. Is Bro occupying 2 different core positions right now? He is, isn't he? He's King of Asser and King of the Universe. Cheeky bugger. Form intrigue. Oh, that costs you a lot, doesn't it? My god. Make request. Plot against. Assassinate looks like it could be extremely powerful. Has a pretty low base chance, of course, but still. Freaking just take out an enemy faction leader. What kind of requests can we get off these guys? You get Cease, if I gain a free use of the Cease intrigue until the end of the turn. Elite Warriors. King of Babylon. Temple Builders and Elite Warriors. King of Asser, we get Embezzle and Elite Warriors. Lots of opportunities to get Elite Warriors, it looks like. Minus 30 faction aversion. Interesting. The Elamites don't like us very much. No, pretty much nobody here likes us. Essentially. Collude. Interesting. I'm just going to gossip with you. Spend our point on that, I guess. Scheme. Where is he? As a free court action, the King of Hanigelbach can gain 3 actions during their turn. Alright, I'm going to save that. Because you can only do that once per year. Once every 3 turns. So I'm going to hold on to that for now. I'm just going to gossip with the King of Elam.
Seek the servants instead.
And I think doing that does get you a little bit of diplomatic bonus sometimes, but also it gets you regard, and then you can cash in that regard for requests. Like if we want to get our hands on some elite warriors, we could do that if we get enough regard with the King of Elam.
Looks clear.
Okay, expired barters. We were importing some stone for some wood apparently. No, I don't need to renew that. I can live with that. Without that, that's fine. What do we want to build? Maybe a dwelling of Ninurta? Or another new scryer stand. Later down the line we can get some more happiness. But you know what? Actually, no, I'm going to go with the dwelling of Ninurta for the extra favour with the gods. How are we doing in that department, by the way? Not fantastic. We're only halfway to tier 2.
By Ninurta.
Still have tons and tons of friggin' outposts we could build right now. I've spent all my damn resources on it. Or have I? What's the deal here? Oh yeah, I don't have enough stone for any of this stuff. Alright. Yeah, I agree with you there, Jacob. Yeah, that's one thing I do miss is the trait system from Medieval 2 and Rome. That's something I do wish they really would bring back. Ah! We've had a child, except it's a girl, unfortunately, so that's no bloody good. Try again, dude. I mean, we can marry her off to someone one day, but that's less useful than having an actual proper heir.
Resist me and you will die.
Ah, dear. Oh, hello. What are you guys doing? Lots of recruiting going on over here. What are you up to?
True master of the arts.
Mari, led by Puta Sin. He's at war with Sutu, who we've not discovered yet, apparently. He doesn't have any real diplomatic relations with anyone else. What he does have, though, it looks like... Oh, wait, no. That's what he doesn't have. He doesn't have gold or bronze, I was going to say. If he's got gold and bronze, fucking, I'm having him. I'm taking over, bitch. But, no. Yeah, we have loads of room for outposts and things. I think I want to put a way station here if I can. Yes. Way station there. That's about all we can build for this turn. Call action available.
I am the future of the world.
I'm gonna just gossip with you again.
I should enter the trading business.
I do this for Assyria.
Those little birdie sound effects. That totally reminds me of playing Pharaoh back in the day, the city builder, the Sierra city building game, Pharaoh. Devs knew what they were doing, including those stock sound effects there. Much nostalgia from hearing that. One trend you notice in Herodotus, if a ruler is depicted poorly, they tend to name weird sex kinks. Yes, that's a common refrain, isn't it? You notice that, like, even with, like, Roman history as well, like, if the historians really didn't like a particular Roman emperor, he had all sorts of weird stuff going on in the bedroom. Same goes for certain emperors' wives. Court intrigues, idle compensation. Amid a chamber of silver-tongued snakes, he whose tongue waggles most lucratively leans in, no doubt with persuasive intent. You allow him to approach only so far as to ensure that you are the only one privy to his whispers. We can trade our court action for this turn for some gold, or refuse. I'm going to do that. I'm not really doing anything particularly important with my court actions at the moment, so I'll take the gold, thanks. I'll accept that bribe. Like to save your court actions to advance a plot. Can you actually save them up? I thought it was like a use it or lose it sort of scenario with the court actions. I thought you got like one every turn, and if you didn't use it, then it was gone. But if you can save them up, then yeah, I should have been doing that a while ago. All right, choose an ambition. Capture and occupy any settlement. Your might must grow. Maintain 25 units in total. Currently got 17. Lion hunters. 10. Maintain 10 missile infantry units. I'm gonna go with your might must grow.
What now?
What now? Well, I can tell you what now, my friend. What now is we are going to build a fort somewhere. In fact, we've already got one. Perfect.
You have news?
You, Sonny Jim. I'm going to go on march.
Ready to march.
I'm going to get you all up there.
Warriors.
And I'm going to deposit some of his army in the fort to reduce its upkeep. Now we're at peace. However, begs the question, do I want to build another fort somewhere else? Maybe up here. Could also build a lookout post. Or a warrior's refuge. Gives you +5 replenishment for this region. It has a bit of food upkeep cost. Extra XP per turn for units in the region. And there's a 30% random chance for a unit to join the outpost garrison totally for free, which you can then, you know, use in your armies if you want to. Which is kind of neat, actually, but I think I'd rather go with a regular old fort up here. This is a pretty safe location. But we're already building a way station there, aren't we? Yeah. Could build an economic trading posty thing there, though.
I serve a great cause.
Inspired barters of Mitre. Yes. Yeah, I do want to renew that.
Perhaps this is the start of a new friendship. That sounds like a good deal.
There we go. I'm going to keep trading for bronze with the Hittites. You'd have to pay their upkeep, though. Yeah, you do. However, you can turn off the random unit recruitment. Once you've built a warrior's refuge, there's a little button on it when you select it that allows you to switch that on or off. So if you really don't want any extra units, because you're at your limit with upkeep, you can turn that off if you want to, which is neat. But otherwise, it's a nice little random unit spawner. What are you guys doing? I'm marching off somewhere. What are you up to? Okay, I'm just wandering about.
My might swells.
Your might continues to swell, does it? Ancient Legacy available. Here we go. Choose an ancient legacy to follow. Each provides different boons as you follow in the footsteps of great leaders of the past. This choice will mark your rule and cannot be changed once selected. So we can go with Sargon the Great or Hammurabi the Lawmaker. Let's look at Sargon first. Attain your grand ambitions to become an immortal legend known by all. Gain the ability to have 2 active ambitions at the same time. I don't really like this. I struggle to do one of those missions, let alone having 2 of them at the same time to do. Gain access to grand ambitions. More challenging to complete but provide greater rewards. Complete ambitions to gain points in different archetypes. Archetypes unlock powerful tiered abilities with faction-wide benefits. Focusing your efforts is key. Only 3 out of 6 archetypes can be active at the same time. Appoint royal scribes to empower your ambitions. Ambitions and royal scribes are both... Okay, I'm not sold on that. How about Hammurabi the Lawmaker? Create laws by combining various effects for your kingdom or army. Each effect in a law can be customized to benefit you in the best way. Enforcing new laws will grant you Kuduru. Additional Kuduru can be gained by completing certain ambitions or using a special court intrigue. Use your accumulated Kuduru to unlock more options for creating new and more powerful law effects. You can also choose to boost existing laws or instantly research any role to create. I like this one. This sounds fun. Hammurabi it is. Cool. Create a law then? Category selection. Civic law, I suppose. Oh, cool. We've got actual quotes from the Code of Hammurabi on here. That's pretty sweet. Civic law. Effect type. This is interesting. There's lots of different... These funky ambitions are quite interesting. They change the way the game plays a lot for different factions. When I was playing as the Greeks, one of the ones you can choose there is like Perseus the hero, I think, and it allows you to like basically hold like kind of like the Olympic Games, and you can invite other factions to participate in your Olympic Games. And you know, like the loot you get, like the ancillaries, like the weapons and armor and stuff that you can pick up and that sort of thing, you can offer those as prizes for the winners. And if you bring people along to participate in the games, you get they give you gifts, so you can get lots of resources that way. But also, everybody who's taking part in the games, if they're at war with each other, they have to sign a peace treaty. So essentially, it's kind of ridiculously powerful. You can use it to force AI factions within Greece to stop fighting each other temporarily by inviting them to take part in the games. Pretty neat. I like this though as well. So, law. Oh, we can change what it's called. We can change what the law is called. Oh my goodness, this is really interesting. All right, income, construction, army, kingdom. Ah, maybe this is why our happiness sucks, is because we're supposed to compensate for it by making fancy laws. Select effect target. Okay, happiness, generals. Apparently we can't unlock these yet. Happiness plus wide, faction wide, condition generals. So our generals would be spreading happiness wherever they go. By 1 point. Cost 3 Kuduras, or is it turns, or what is that? Oh, it looks like is it 3 turns it's going to take and cost 120 food to do that? What other things could we do? Army recruitment cost. For certain types of units, we could presumably lower. Although, it looks like what you can do is you can actually make it more expensive to compensate and actually add better things elsewhere. So... Oh, I see how this works now. Hold on. So, if I wanted to get, like, a +2 happiness from all my generals, if I go here and I do, let's say, construction cost. Nope, not allowed that one. Resource income from raiding stance. There we go. We lower that, so we get less resource income from raiding stances, and our recruitment cost goes up. But in return for that, we could... Oh, no, it doesn't seem to be able to... Oh, it's because it's locked. It's locked. If that was unlocked, we would have banked enough of these points here to be able to make that a +2, I think, is the way that works. For now, though, let's just make a law that makes it so generals basically boost happiness, I think. What should we call this new law, ladies and gentlemen? Basically makes a general a governor. Yeah, kind of. Law of the Everscamp. Different kind of law. Law of beheadings. Okay, fine. 1203 BC. It is inscribed! In 3 turns it shall become law, once they finish carving the tablet out. This is so cool. I like this a lot. This has got to be one of my favorite, like, ambition things I've encountered in this game so far. I think it's really neat. I quite liked, what was the one when the game originally came out and I streamed SETI over in Egypt, and he had that ambition way, like, you could use it to conduct guerrilla warfare on enemy cities and stuff like that to help you in sieges. That was pretty neat as well, but this is by far my favorite. I don't know if it's like the most, like, competitively good ambition you can choose in the game, but I think purely on rule of cool. I like the idea of just fucking carving out my fancy law tablets and having cool effects happen as a result of them. And the fact that you can name it whatever you want to as well, I love it. I love it. Alright, we got the power of the crown screen as well. Yeah, that's Ashur-nadin Apli. He's the current king of the universe at the moment. We've got 40 legitimacy. He's got 113. We'd need to get 85 or more legitimacy to become a potential pretender, and then essentially the way it works is these civil wars is once you've got enough legitimacy, you can instigate a civil war against this guy, and the civil war will last for a certain number of turns, and it'll be longer or shorter depending on how many other factions choose to get involved, and then by the time the turn limit is up, whoever's got the most legitimacy left at the end of the civil war basically wins it and becomes king. So depending on how it shakes out and how it goes down, we could potentially win a civil war without actually killing this guy, and he would still be around, except he wouldn't be king anymore. He'd just be out there absolutely coping and seething about it, and would probably cause problems for us later down the line. But yeah, so the civil wars are a little bit more complicated than your normal war in Total War, but they're certainly interesting. Political state is currently peace. Legitimacy support, yes, this is the thing. You go into diplomacy, you can actually try and gain legitimacy support from other factions. Usually it costs you, though, obviously. You'll have to pay them something in return, but it can help you boost your legitimacy if you really wanted to try and go for the throne. Or if you're getting a bit desperate and you're not winning the civil war enough. So, yeah. Join the civil war, claim the throne to grip regalia. And yeah, if you become big head honcho king of the universe, you get royal powers, which allow you to, it's all locked and unavailable to us, obviously, but yeah, you get royal powers that you can do cool shit with. Because it's good to be the king, right? Is the theory.
Nothing passes me by. Our march continues.
Right, you head over to the fort, my dude. We're going to drop off some of these units. Now, the forts can only have 10 units in them, so you can't store an entire army in there. But we can drop off like half the troops, and that'll lower our upkeep costs quite a bit.
Protector of Assyria.
You, for now, my dude.
A warrior spirit is a must.
I'm just going to put you in the encamp stance, I think. Well, actually, we can't right now, but next turn, maybe. Also, he's leveled up.
Speak. Now.
Alright, cool. What reminders have we got? We've got a court action available.
This is the heart of the universe, and I am its master.
Okay, yeah, your actions are reset on the start of your next turn. Okay. Yeah, so it is use it or lose it, pretty much. But we can use the scheme thing here, pop that off, and get three actions if we want to. In a single turn, which is actually kind of powerful, to be honest. However, I'm just gonna... Ooh, discuss law. Gain 2 Kuduru. That would cost us 20 intrigue. I mean, 20
Watching
regard, but...
grow is more interesting than this.
We've discussed some law. And we got some Kuduru for it. We've got 2 Kuduru. Spend Kuduru to increase the rank of your legacy categories and unlock new law effects. Okay, so we use these to unlock the new effects, basically. Rank increase available for Civic, it looks like. There we go. So we've unlocked construction cost. Looks like. Yeah. Alright, cool. The Ministry of Beheadings is in need of more material. What have we got here? Fisherman's Docks. We could and indeed probably should upgrade that. Yep, let's do that. All right. Well, folks, it is 10 past 10 at night. It's really late. Luckily, I'm not going anywhere tomorrow. I'm off work this week. My manager made me use some of my damn holiday finally, so... I'm not at work this week, so I don't have to be anywhere. Hence the late stream. But I'm going to save that for now. We're going to be back tomorrow evening. Streaming probably some more of this, if nobody has any objections. I'd like to play a little bit more of this Assyrian campaign, see where it takes us. Wow, these guys are really... They're fighting a serious war down here, aren't they? I think that's 2 more armies they've recruited down there. Maybe we should think about backstabbing them. Cross the Tigris. Or the Euphrates, or whatever, whichever one this is here, and just... Yeah, maybe that's what we should do next time. Alright. Ladies and gents, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for tuning in and whatnot. I'm just going to go back to the starting soon screen for a second. Because the game doesn't stay maximized when you alt-tab out of it. I don't really know why. In fact, run in window. Can I do a borderless window with this game? Looks like I can. It just wasn't in borderless window for some reason. There we go. Because most of the games I run in borderless window, which means I can alt-tab out of them during the stream without it going straight back to my desktop. So, because I wanted to check if there was anyone we could raid. New screen doesn't. Yep, accept. That's good. That's fine. We like that. Alright, there we go. That's better. Right. Oh, and also wouldn't mind if audio sound in background. There we go. Perfect. That's better. I don't even remember where the raid button is now. Twitch is faffed about with the dashboard now, and I can't remember where. Is it quick actions in here somewhere? Yeah, I think so. Okay, no. I was hoping maybe somebody like Varix was streaming, but they ain't. So, right, ladies and gentlemen, have a good one. Toodaloo.